Hi, today I want to introduce you to some of the central Reis Method principles for the cellist's left-handed arm. Hopefully by applying these principles, you will develop a successful left-handed arm technique, more balanced, more stable, and more efficient. The first principle is this: all tones, except for open string tones and harmonics, must be created with two equal pressure points, either with a finger and the thumb or with two fingers. I think of the two equal pressure points as structures rather than fingerings. So let's demonstrate this principle. Bring the pad of your thumb to the pad of your index or middle finger. Now press harder with the thumb than the finger. Relax. And now press harder with the finger than the thumb. You'll notice that both are very uncomfortable. But when you now press them equally, you can pretty much press as hard as you are able, and not only does it not hurt, it doesn't cause muscles further up the left arm to clench. They stay open and relaxed. Similarly, when you press down two fingers with equal pressure on the fingerboard, or one finger and the thumb, you will have strength, balance, and stability. Certainly compared to pressing one finger alone, something I catch students doing sometimes. It seems to me that this is like walking on a tightrope. Now pressing three or more points at the same time creates negative tension, unhealthily activating muscles higher up the arm. In particular, I notice my wrist, my forearm, and my tricep clenching. This is the exact kind of tension that can trip you up and strangle your music making. Just as important as providing two pressure point structures for each tone is the seamless exchange of one structure for the next. If you've ever had a teacher tell you to keep your fingers closer to the fingerboard, they were part of the way there in that advice. What actually needs to happen is one two-point structure must seamlessly give way to the next, the whole arm and even the back moving in a complementary fashion toward the next structure. Or you must completely and equally release both points of a structure and then reestablish equal pressure at the next structure. If there's even a 1 millisecond gap where one pressure point stops balancing the other, the muscles in the arm can seize up, potentially causing problems both technical and musical. When fingering a passage of music, or rather providing two-point structures for it, I often try to devise a plan where alternating tones are created with a finger-thumb, then a two-finger structure, then a finger-thumb, then a two-finger structure, and so forth. This strategy gives our poor thumb ample opportunity to rest. For the fourth finger, the pinky, which is not particularly well balanced by the thumb, I very frequently create a structure with fingers 4 and 3 instead of 4 and thumb. For 4-3 structures, the thumb can lightly touch the neck, but does not press into it, since that would constitute a third pressure point, creating negative tension. Here are some thoughts on thumb position. When launching yourself up into thumb position, it is very useful to find a two-finger structure, such as a 4-3, or a 3-2, or a 2-1, that will allow you to simultaneously bring the thumb around to the front of the cello and also raise the arm in preparation for the shift. After you have arrived in thumb position, should you need to move the thumb laterally to a different pair of strings, it's a good idea to use a two-finger structure, such as a 3-2 or a 2-1, to accomplish that motion. As for the thumb itself, when it is the sounding tone, I always try, unless the music is moving too fast, to give it a second pressure point on a different string, since pressing the thumb alone feels unpleasant and doesn't sound very good. By the way, successful two-finger structures anywhere on the cello do not at all require both of the fingers to be on the same string. You can absolutely balance the hand with one finger on one string and one finger on another, and in some cases the fingers don't even have to be on adjacent strings. In my editions of our repertoire, I've gone through and provided indications for which two digits you can use for forming a tone. As with traditional fingerings, there will often be alternative structures that could work too. And once you've absorbed these principles, you'll be able to go looking for them on your own if you want. I also indicate on which 2-point structure to enter and leave thumb position, and also on which structure you can move the thumb laterally to another pair of strings. These last two motions are not practiced consistently by many cellists, but doing it differently every time, even slightly, is inefficient. These motions should be practiced just as you would approach learning the notes of a piece, as efficiently as possible. The Reis Method guide, which you can purchase, focuses on 11 hand and arm structure considerations and 18 motions. In this video, I've attempted to highlight some of them. Hopefully you will find the others useful as well. I know I do. If you'd like to know more, visit my website, reismethod.com, and thank you for watching. Good luck.